Hello, everyone. So I think this is the best time to discuss on Ahmedabad real estate, specifically onto the commercial and the retail side of the thing. And we gathered here specifically for CREDAI Guy Property Show, which is coming up 2025 in the month of Jan from 3rd to 5th of January. Myself, Rumit, Parikh, I represent Knight Frank. I'm a senior director. With me, there is Mr. Chitrak Shah, who is from Shivalik. We have Mr. Vinod Patel from Trogon Group, and we have Mr. Shaan Zaveri from Collated. So let's start on to the discussion that how is Ahmedabad changing in terms of commercial real estate as well as retail as a destination. In all likelihood, we have got entire gamut of infrastructure what is required here. So to start with, we have got bullet train which is coming up in 2026. We have got Gift City, which is the mega city which is already onto the global discussion. We have world's largest cricket stadium. We have metro connectivity, BRTS connectivity. There was a Filmfare Award which has been hosted in January in 2024 this year. And we are being nominated for Olympics, which is the talk of the thing for 2036. So what is specifically in terms of the commercial real estate? We have transformed ourselves in terms of being from 0.8 million to 1.2 million square feet as an absorption in terms of the office leasing, which is the most highest in the year 2024 onto the first half of the year, which has touched to 1.7. And this year, it is going to be the one of the most highest in terms of 2.2 or probably 2.5 million square feet, which is never seen. So, what you guys feel in terms of, this as a growth story and we becoming pioneers in terms of the city which is most affordable? Because if you really see onto the index also, onto the affordability index, we are the first city or the heritage city in terms of likelihood of living. So I think we have got everything which is required. So, and it goes to all of you that what you have created is something which is creating history, and how we can, get into the newest heights. If I can open up specifically with Chitrak bhai.
So if I divide office space consumption into three parts, so you can say the managed offices, which were not there earlier. Now the co-working spaces and the traditional offices. So the consumption of the traditional offices, the smaller offices, is converting from the smaller offices to the co-working spaces gradually. So that shift is because of that.
Yeah.
So if you compile everything together, so yeah, that will keep adding more and more. And Ahmedabad need a good office building spaces.
Sure. So I think what I see as a realtor specifically, that ISKCON Crossroad was something else in probably 10 years from now.
Right.
And going towards, further ahead as the city, we are a circular city.
Right.
So we have got a possibility that we can, get into every zones of the city.
Right.
So we can get developed, as a holistic point of view in terms of round and circle,
Right.
which is one of its kind.
Right.
Basically, if you really see, then other cities are either vertical or horizontal, or only one part has been developed in other metros. But
Right.
we've got an advantage in terms of, as being a circular. So, Vinodji, what you feel? Because I feel as a realtor that, next ISKCON Crossroad is going to be Vaishno Devi Circle.
Yeah, definitely, Rumitji. If you see the strategic location of that point, it is an entry node of Twin City node. We call it Twin City node.
Sure.
And it is an entry point of North Gujarat people and all.
Sure.
And as far as connectivity is concerned, you can connect from that point within very short time to airport, to Gandhinagar to Ring Road and all. So probably we are looking very good potential in that area.
Sure. So I think, according to me, next, because if you really see onto the vicinity also, there are all corporates and huge corporate buildings and institutional buildings which has been developed, and that is creating entire change in terms of the entire outlook of the city. And we as a realtor feel that how do we change the outlook of the end user also, because it is all about the end users and the tenants who are going to be taking the spaces. So I'll ask you that what do you feel that that particular area is going to change the complete outlook in terms of the city?
I think this city has grown, it's matured. It's no longer a city with a single CBD. I think now there are micro markets, and there are some very good micro markets, and you can see that in capital values, desirability, absorption, infrastructure. So now there's a good use case for several locations. Yeah, and of course, the Vaishno Devi Junction remains a very prominent one. But I think over a period of time, as the market grows, people will find what suits their employees well, what suits them well, what suits their customer base well. So as we progressed our journey, our first office was in Law Garden. Over a period of time, we moved it to between SG Road and SP Ring Road. Rightly so, because a lot of our clientele moved in that direction. So it just made, and our projects were in that direction. So it made sense for us. So I think there is a good use case to say that there will be some really good micro markets within Ahmedabad, and they will all fare well in different ways in serving different clientele. I think some of the most discerning clientele still is looking for the most prominent locations. But there is no right or wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, as you rightly spoke about the micro locations, it started probably in the 20 years back from Relief Road to CG Road to Satellite to Prahlad Nagar to SG Highway, and then to the roads which are like Bopalambi Road, which are the vertical roads to it. Then there is Rajpath Road, Rajpath Rangoli Road, Sindhu Bhavan Road, Thaltej. So how do you feel that as a potential, and then moving the base more towards Vaishno Devi and going to Gandhinagar as a SG highway whole? Because what I feel is that probably some developments is going on SG highway which are very iconic. But what is your say that is there land plots available for the community which we want to build in? And the campus-like feeling has to come in, because if we want to become more larger and bigger, I think the campus is the one thing. And what I want to understand from all of you is, what are you looking in terms of the new thing which is ESG? Because any user or any tenant now who are large, they actually look at ESG compliant buildings. So if you guys can put some light on that.
So ESG still, it's a new for the city, but yeah, the large companies who are occupier or who are willing to do large floor plates, they have the compliances which we call as A-grade building. So if the A-grade building with the green building certification, as a developer, we are okay, because we are not there to make our company as a ESG compliance. Because nobody asks us, because we are there to support their development. So we are okay with the green building certification and the larger floor plate and the A-grade building, which is the criteria. But yeah, that companies are now coming into Gujarat because they see lot of potential, because of lot of development, lot of entrepreneurs are here. So yeah, that will be gradually a norm, which will be a green certified building and A-grade building for the ESG compliances, the company which are already part of that certification.
Sure. So you, all of you have built good things, and all of you have built some fantastic infrastructures and fantastic buildings. As a next thing, do you feel that ESG is going to be one of the most important or probably the criteria which is a tick which is required in terms of building the buildings?
I think so. At a personal level and at a company level, we feel that it's our responsibility and duty to care for the environment that we are building around. It has short-term, mid-term, and long-term impact.
Yeah.
In the short term, the impact is where we source the materials from, how we construct. In the mid-term, it will be how those buildings fare over a period of time and how much energy they consume.
Sure.
And in the long run, how much they last and how they will weather.
Sure.
So it's very much on our minds. It's something that we holistically believe in, with or without certification. There are several projects we've done where we've not taken certification, but we have pretty much done the same things anyways that we believe is our responsibility. So I think it is very important. It almost it makes commercial sense, it makes common sense, and eventually customers will see that buildings which are well designed, well constructed, and keeping the environment in mind will bring them and their customers and their employees better health. It's a responsible thing to do, and I think many multinational companies mandate this. It's not, we don't see that so much here as yet, but some of these things don't need to be mandated to be implemented. So we are holistically doing this, and with every building that we are making, we are trying to see how much more we can do to reduce the impact on the environment.
So Jantri is one of the most hot topic. શું લાગે છે તમને કે cost, impact, as well as what is going to change your outlook into it?
ડેફિનેટલી નવા પ્રોજેક્ટ ઉપર એની ઇમ્પેક્ટ આવી શકે છે. જસ્ટ એફએસઆઈની કોસ્ટ વધશે તો ઇનપુટ કોસ્ટમાં જ કેલ્ક્યુલેટ થશે, અને ઇનપુટ કોસ્ટમાં કેલ્ક્યુલેટ થશે તો આઉટપુટ કોસ્ટ બી એટલી વધવાની જ છે. એટલે એનું લોડિંગ થોડું ઘણું કસ્ટમર ઉપર આવી શકે છે. મતલબ ઓવરઓલ રેટ્સ will increase. That is my opinion.
જંત્રી કેમ વધારી એનું લોજિક રીઝન ઇફ આઈ પરસીવ માય સેલ્ફ, તો મને એવું લાગે છે કે ગવર્મેન્ટને એટલે પીએમઓનું જે વિઝન છે પીએમનું, અને $4 trillion ઇકોનોમી કરવી છે, $4 trillion ઇકોનોમી કરવી છે. સો એવરીથિંગ હેઝ ટુ બી સિસ્ટમની અંદર લઈને આવે ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી. તો ફર્સ્ટ દે ડી 12.5% કેપિટલ ગેઇન ટેક્સ, કે જેના કારણે તમારો ઇન્ટેન્શન થાય કે મારે પૈસા ઓફિશિયલ કરવા છે, અને પછી એક પુશ આવે બીજો કે જે નથી કરતા એને ચંદ્રીના કારણે દે રેઝ ધ બાર.
રાઈટ.
હવે એના કારણે દેર ઇઝ ટુ લોજિક, એક છે પુશ અને એક છે પુલ. રાઈટ. સો બોથ લોજિક. હવે એના કારણે જે કન્ઝ્યુમરને જે ઇફેક્ટ થાય છે એન્ડ ઓફ ધ ડે, એ જો એફએસઆઈથી અને ડીલિંગ કરી નાખે એફએસઆઈથી, તો ગવર્મેન્ટનો જે મેઇન પર્પઝ છે એ સોલ્વ થઈ જશે. અને જે બીજો જે પેઇન છે કસ્ટમર પર, કે જે એમને કીધું એ રીતે કે એફએસઆઈની કોસ્ટ કસ્ટમર પર પાસ થાય છે, એ બી ડીલિંગ કરી નાખે. સો they should dealing with the FSI cost, અને પછી જે કસ્ટમરની ઉપર જે લોડ પડે છે એ બી કંટ્રોલમાં આવી જાય અને ગવર્મેન્ટનો પર્પઝ બી સોલ્વ થઈ જાય. ઇટ શુડ બી ધ સિસ્ટમેટિક વે ટુ ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ જંત્રી. સો એ હજી ડિબેટ ચાલે છે ગવર્મેન્ટ જોડે.
સો અગર એવું સમજું કે 6-7 હજાર હોલિસ્ટિકલી ભાવ હોય છે ઓફિસ સ્પેસનો પર સ્ક્વેર ફીટ, એનાથી 8-9 હજાર 10 હજાર પહોંચી જશે કે હાઉ ડુ યુ ફીલ?
I don't think so. I don't think it will be that substantial. Any kaik impact avse. It depends on the industry bodies have made representations ke the paid FSI rate should be linked from Jantri. If that happens, it will have minimal impact. Otherwise, it may, as both of them said, it will absolutely transfer to the customer and increase value. I think it's, as very much as Chitrak said, it's done with a view to bring the economy, this industry contributes very substantially to the economy.
Yeah.
And to have that, above board is important. And I think it's a natural progression. I think this state has not seen frequent Jantri revisions,
Yes.
which other states have. So sometimes these look like large impacts, but you have to also consider કે છેલ્લા 10 વર્ષમાં એક જ વાર વધી છે.
And I think change is always required, and I think if you adopt changes, it is good for the community as well.
But change with the view, see, the government has they have to balance this, I think, and that balance will come very much with increase of Jantri on one hand, and then delinking will probably serve both their objectives, because their other very important objective is to give every Indian a home.
Sure.
And by doing this, it may become more unaffordable.
Acquisition, like government projects માટે acquisition કરે છે, તો there it is required to have little high entry because farmers ને એટલું benefit વધારે મળી શકે.
Sure.
એટલે તો ગવર્મેન્ટે 12.5% ટેક્સ બી લઈ આવ્યા કે અમે એક્વિઝિશન બી કરીશું, તમારું ટેક્સ સ્ટ્રક્ચર ઓછું થઈ ગયું ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી. નોર્મલી જે ફાર્મર્સ છે દે આર હોલ્ડિંગ લેન્ડ સિન્સ લોંગ, સો એમને તો ટેક્સ બી ઓછા થઈ ગયા. સો આઈ થિંક ઇટ્સ અ નાઇસ મૂવ. ડેવલપર જે છે જે પહેલાં નોર્મલી જગ્યા પર બિઝી રહેતા હતા અમુક મેનેજ કરવામાં 2 નંબરના પૈસા કે એની જગ્યાએ દે વિલ બી ફ્રી and everything will be managed by their team, so they can focus on to the more scalable project and value creation instead of managing the routine accountability or accounts of the rupees.
Sure. So I think you guys are probably very high influencers. So Chitrak bhai, if somebody wants to be a builder or a developer, what do you feel, or what do you can, how you can change the outlook for that particular person? અને જે રીતે તમે ડેવલપમેન્ટ કર્યું છે, જે રીતે તમે SN developers as a company, you have grown it into multifolds. So what do you say about it?
So entrepreneurs and developers both are goes hand to hand. એમાં શું છે કોમન રિસ્ક લેવાનું. સો બાકી ડેવલપર ડઝન્ટ નીડ એની ડિગ્રી. કોઈ બી વ્યક્તિ ડેવલપર બની શકે, જસ્ટ વિઝ્યુલાઇઝ કરવાનો. પહેલાં એવું કહેતા હતા બહુ જ પહેલાં કે બેટા એક કામ કર તો બિલ્ડિંગ બનાવે, નુકસાન તો નહીં જ કરે. સો કશું ના આવડે તો છેલ્લે ફાધરની જગ્યા હોય તો ડેવલપર બની જાય. સો દેટ્સ વોટ ધ થોટ પ્રોસેસ. વી ડોન્ટ નીડ ડિગ્રી, યુ જસ્ટ હેવ ટુ ટેક રિસ્ક, એક્શન અને વિઝન.
પણ સે હું પોતે સિવિલ એન્જિનિયર નથી, હું પોતે ટેકનિકલ નથી, પણ હું ડેવલપર ના બની શક્યો. દેર વોઝ સમથિંગ વિચ વોઝ દેર.
બટ એક્શન એન્ડ એક્શન એન્ડ રિસ્ક. સો આર યુ રેડી કે કશું થાય, તમે લોન લો કાં તો કોઈની જોડે બોરો પૈસા કરે, આર યુ રેડી? ઇફ યુ આર રેડી દેન યુ કેન ડુ. સિમ્પલ. બાકી વી ડોન્ટ નીડ ડિગ્રીઝ.
Entrepreneur bonds with the risk. Yes.
Of course, I agree with you.
And whether it is development business or any other business.
Correct.
લોકોનું ઘર બનાવવા તમારે તમારું ઘર રિસ્કમાં મૂકવું પડે.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity and a responsibility. They go hand in hand, because you are creating something which somebody is going to call their home or office. It may be the only investment they will make during their lifetime. So it is a great opportunity and a great responsibility. So I think while the entry barrier to become a developer is low, expectations are growing, accountability is growing. And I think customers will look at, I think more and more look at the pedigree of the developer, their past performance, how they have dealt with people, how they have dealt with bad situations. All this collectively builds a reputation, which, people who have been doing it well, and everybody will have had their good and bad moments. But by and large, if you have served people well, and if you've created buildings that you would feel proud to occupy, then I think you are doing a good job.
And I think the most important is the repeat customers. Because the way you guys have created, I think it's not an overnight journey. It's something which is a journey of probably decades, probably 2 decades from now. But જે મને સમજાય છે એ પ્રમાણે તમારા બ્રાન્ડ નેમથી things go in a different outlook.
But as your question is how to enter into real estate.
Yes.
So that time you don't have repeat customer. At that time you don't have brand name. Correct. That time you are on survival phase. કે મારું ઘર ને મારી દુકાન કેવી રીતે ચાલે ને સારા બિલ્ડિંગ કેવી રીતે બનાવું. That's the only philosophy. પછી when you deliver 2-3 projects, then all the visualization repeat customer will keep coming.
Sure. On a layman perspective, what is CREDAI? Confederation Real Estate Development Association of India.
Right.
તમે લોકો કંઈક આની ઉપર લાઇટ નાખી શકો for the viewers is going to help?
સિમ્પલ લેંગ્વેજમાં ડેવલપરનું ફોરમ છે, અંદર નેટવર્કિંગ થાય છે, એકબીજા જોડે ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ ક્રિએટ થાય છે, અને એઝ અ બોન્ડ થઈને જે બી ઇશ્યુઝ બાય વે ઓફ ગવર્મેન્ટ મેમ્બર્સ ઇન્ટરનલ જે બી છે વી સોલ્વ, એન્ડ અર મેઇન ફોકસ ઇઝ સિટીને હાઉ વી કેન મેક ધ બેટર એન્ડ ગુડ કમ્યુનિટી બિલ્ડિંગ્સ. દેટ્સ ધ ફોકસ ઓફ ધ CREDAI એઝ અ હોલ નેશનલ લેવલથી ઓર સિટી ચેપ્ટરથી.
No, it's an industry body, and I think it's important that people of the industry come together, have a unified voice. There are industry-wide problems that this body really, people take great pain to solve on behalf of the whole industry. So it's a great responsibility that this organization takes. They have done things that, and I've seen members work tirelessly in the larger interest of the community, which in fact impacts everybody, because all consumers are impacted by real estate.
Sure.
So it's a very important body, and I feel proud to see the members who are there, who are doing a great job, and the best we can do is to keep supporting them.
ઇવન ચિત્રકભાઈ હમણાં જે રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ શિવાલિક રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ચલાવે છે, તો દેટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો ગોઈંગ ટુ હેલ્પ ન્યૂ એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોર્સ. હમણાં તમે વાત કરી કે નવા ડેવલપર્સને આવવું છે, તો એના માટે ઇટ ઇઝ વેરી
કરેક્ટ, કારણ કે કોઈ કોર્સ નથી રિયલ એસ્ટેટનો. આઈડિયલી જોવા જઈએ તો આપણા ભણવામાં, આજે હું પોતે એઝ અ કન્સલ્ટન્ટ ઓર અ બ્રોકર, આઈ વુડ સે દેટ મેં કોઈ દિવસ એવું વિચાર્યું હતું કે હું ડૉક્ટર એન્જિનિયર નહીં, કે પ્રોબેબલી ડેવલપર બી નહીં, પણ હું રિયલ એસ્ટેટ બ્રોકર બનીશ. ઇટ કમ બાય અ ચાન્સ. તો એવા પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂથી આ જે કોર્સ છે એનાથી સારા આપણને ટેલેન્ટ્સ મળે છે. એમાંથી આઈ થિંક ગુડ ટેલેન્ટ્સ વિચ વી કેન ગેટ, એન્ડ દેન દે કેન બી ઇન્ફ્લુઅન્સ ટુ બીકમ what you guys are.
So I tell you now, the pivot with the real estate and the industry experts are combining at some level. કોઈ બે જે ડોક્ટર્સ છે, they are converting into ડોક્ટર હાઉસ છે, કે ડોક્ટરના માટેના બિલ્ડિંગ્સ છે.
Yes.
કોઈ આઈટી એન્જિનિયર છે, અથવા તો આઈટી કોઈ એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોર છે, they are making IT park or IT enabled building or collaborating with the developer, કે આપણે બંને ભેગા મળીને બિલકુલ પાર્ટનરશિપ કરીએ. I been to one institute last week. ત્યાં ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક એન્જિનિયર અને સિવિલ એન્જિનિયર્સના છોકરાઓ ભેગા મળીને they were creating robots to spray the water and all. So now the real estate is a 360 degree evolving. So gradually જ્યારે રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ડેવલપરનું ફોરમ કે જે બોડી છે એ કમ્બાઇન થાય, અને which can add a lot of values from the stakeholder of the people who are using real estate.
Of course.
So that will add the crazy transformation inside the building as well.
Yes. I was just thinking that, there is a thing which is managed office space,
Right.
a flex space. Flex space is something which is come over the period of only 5 years from now. And earlier, if you really see, then their take-up was probably maximum to maximum 1% or 2%, which has increased now into a double digit,
Right.
in terms of the absorption.
Right.
So where, out of 2.2 million, એમનું કન્ઝમ્પશન જે છે એ કન્ઝમ્પશન લગભગ નહીં તો 3.5 લાખ 4 લાખ ફૂટ, which is good in terms of the absorption which has reached. તો આપણા ત્યાં અત્યારે અગર તમે જોશો ને, તો મોસ્ટલી હોમ ગ્રોન કંપનીઝ has become very good in terms of they have a portfolio of 1 million square feet. Some has got portfolio of 0.8 million square feet. તો અગર આપણે નેશનલ પ્લેયર્સ લાવવા છે, અને નેશનલ પ્લેયર્સ જે બીજી સિટીઝમાં મોટા છે અને આખી બિલ્ડિંગ્સને બધું લે છે, તો એની ઉપર વોટ ઇઝ યોર સે? બિકોઝ we here in Ahmedabad has a different mentality in terms of leasing out the spaces, rather than any institutes like a Blackstone or a Hiranandani who leases out the entire buildings basically to the flex players.
I think co-working is not new. Regus, I think, has been doing it for a long time.
Yes.
It became sexy when WeWork came into the picture.
Right.
The way they glamorized it.
Yes.
They changed the outlook.
Correct.
And it's what we call now Uberization, that we use that term, which is to say that people in many cases want access and not ownership.
Right.
And it gives people flexibility to try something. They can focus on their business rather than buying the space and making the space and fitting out the space and maintaining the space. It's not for everybody, but for many people, it becomes a stepping stone to try something. In many cities, large corporates will have their small outpost in one of these. So it's become acceptable not to have your own space. I think it's very much an evolving concept, and it will do very well. We are also doing many buildings in GIFT City itself, where we see a large amount of space allocated already to flex.
Sure.
And so I think it will provide a great deal of flexibility to people to try something, grow their business. If you were to buy an office space with a 10-year horizon, how much extra space would you end up buying, thinking of future growth?
Yes.
And which may lie vacant until you are able to scale up your operations, or you don't have that capital.
Correct.
And you are using that capital to do something else, and you are using you don't mind paying a revenue expenditure. So it's become great for consumers. At the same time, it's become great for large buildings with large floor plates, which cannot be otherwise compartmentalized, and you may almost like what they call a kabutar khana of a office building. It's better to have flex spaces. So the spaces are together, well maintained, managed, where people I think the work environment is becoming more and more important. We are now seeing more and more employees asking, what is the workplace? What does it look like? What are the amenities in the building?
So it is about developing a community altogether.
And so also for a developer, it's a great avenue, because then you are dealing with one master tenant who is then managing a large number of smaller tenants.
Correct.
So I think it's a win-win for the developer, for the consumer, and it's spawned a whole new industry, which is the flex space operator, who takes the, often does the fit out, but certainly does the managing.
Yes.
And there are lots of developers who are now backward integrating or forward integrating, whichever way you look at it, and saying, okay, look, even we can do this.
We can do this.
So that is yet one more opportunity. But all of this translates into more options for the end users, and which is, I think, very good for the industry.
For sure. So are we ready in terms of giving out entire campuses to those players?
So campuses, a trend into the city is still not there, because a lot of land are still with a lot of bigger landlord, maybe the government or either. So the local developers normally, because it's not like Bangalore where the developers are doing joint venture. It's initially started after, especially it will start after raising the Jantri, especially because now the turnaround time to change. So gradually, entire building, there are a lot of projects into the city where developer are giving entire building or small. Now then GIFT cities, there are entire building are now available for lease. So the trend has started.
Correct.
So the large occupier also are into the pipeline.
Yes.
So I think they are expecting Ahmedabad or Gujarat has a lot of growth.
Yes.
So they also need now larger floor plates.
Correct.
And in big buildings, they are now keeping separate floors, entire floors for that.
Correct. Which was earlier was not in the case. I mean, અત્યાર સુધી આપણે જનરલી જોઈએ તો ઓફિસીસ આપણે વેચતા. આપણી ઓફિસ સાઇઝિસ was like 900 square feet was the sweet spot.
Ideal like.
And then, the compartments can be divided into larger floor plates.
As Shaan said, the Kabutar Khana time model, because that was the people, there are a lot of people into the city who just wanted to invest into real estate.
Correct.
And they are getting money from their business. I think they are having spare money from the business, and they invest into the offices, and they were leasing out.
Sure.
But the tenants now shifting to the flexible spaces or the co-working spaces.
Correct.
So now that is shift. So that the small offices જે છે નાની gradually as available છે, the larger floor space છે એ આજે available નથી. So it's a shifting being happening.
અને એ જોશો ને તમે ચિત્રકભાઈ, તો અત્યારે મારા જેવા જે રિયલ્ટર્સ છે ને, એની માટે અમારી પાસે કોર્પોરેટ્સ જ હોય લીઝિંગ માટે મોસ્ટલી. તો અમારી પાસે અત્યારે ગ્રેડ એ સપ્લાય નથી. અને અગર જોશો તો ગ્રેડ એ સપ્લાય આવવાવાળા સમયમાં કદાચ 26-27માં આવશે. તો as of now, it is probably a bad time for us, એવું કહી શકાય. But it is a good time parallelly, because there is inventory which is there in GIFT City, right? Where, there is a lot of national and international players are coming up. as well as developers like you guys have are developing mega projects there, and Gift City basically is like there are roughly around 30 buildings under construction as on today,
Right.
and it's one of the smart city,
Right.
which is first developed in terms of their own infrastructure, MEP point of view. અને એની સાથે સાથે ત્યાં અલોટમેન્ટ અરાઉન્ડ 28 મિલિયન 28 મિલિયન સ્ક્વેર ફીટનું થયું છે. તો ગિફ્ટ સિટી હાઉ ડુ યુ ફીલ વિલ ચેન્જ ધ સિચ્યુએશન?
Well, there are two parts to Gift City. One is the processing zone and the other is the non-processing zone. They both have slightly different models. Until very recently, the processing zone, which is the SEZ, required that a co-developer come in. Gift City is the master developer. A co-developer come in, construct a building and lease it out. That required a different mindset, a different capital structure and a different way of financing a building.
Sure.
Very recently, some of those rules have been changed to provide flexibility for a co-developer to sell some of their inventory. But having said that, the buildings that we are constructing are going to be built and managed by us on a pure leasing basis. So I think it is a shift that we are seeing, and this is only possible in Gift City. The commercial implications in prime Ahmedabad the capital values of land do not make for an attractive yield. And if you can't make an attractive yield, you cannot have a leasing portfolio.
Sure.
So all of these things are tied. Gift City has excellent infrastructure.
Correct.
They have a very different mindset also in terms of their approval process, their the rules and regulations. It's a very proactive environment. They're very supportive. They are very strict in the right things, correct, to ensure quality. Eventually, a lot of the supervision that a developer will otherwise have to do is being done by third party and Gift. So it's a different environment which has spawned a different industry. I see great people doing projects in Gift City, particularly in the special economic zone with more novel business models. I think they have a fund which is funding their project.
AIF.
We also have an AIF, which is a tokenized AIF, funding one of our projects. So it is also creating new innovative financing models.
Sure.
Because till now we don't have access to institutional capital which is patient and with slightly lower expectations. We are still working with high expectation private capital.
Right.
And to make the economic model work in Gift City is possible.
Correct.
Which is otherwise not there in Ahmedabad. But I think that will change. I think we will see more developments happening on a leasing basis. We are going to do a lot of development. I think for us in the next 10 years, I think 70-80% of our pipeline will be all on a leasing basis. So we see that as the future.
So I think there's a good business for us in that case. So Gift City is one of the city, as we being a dry state,
Right.
we getting the first time non-prohibition in
Right.
terms of the alcohol, liquor,
Right.
which is one of its kind. Wine and dine facility જે આપણને ત્યાં મળી રહી છે,
Right.
તો એનાથી જે સોશિયલ ઇન્ફ્રા ક્રિએટ થાય છે,
Right.
એની પર શું કહેવું છે તમારું?
Like the hike of the Gift City જે હતું ને, that is one of the reason also. Liquor permission આવ્યું ત્યારે થોડું હાઇક વધારે ફાસ્ટ થઈ, although it was expected only from the initiative only કે ભાઈ અહીંયા liquor permission મળવાની છે. But yeah, gradually now it is a positive vibe from the government, that government is progressive for the Gift City and they will do whatever needed to bring the good culture, good community into the Gift City. So yeah, gradually this first step and evolve thata because good people we want, good buildings we want. So gradually the more building will come out, the more people will be the
Correct. અને I think એના કારણસર international restaurants,
lot of opportunities.
international probably food courts and infra જે આખું ત્યાં ડેવલપ થઈ રહ્યું છે, social infra is something which is going to create very very good.
So alcohol is one of the reason which is a good occupier of the retail spaces.
Yes.
If you see નીચે તો બધા જ ગુજરાતની બહાર જોશો તો all major are restaurants or the pubs or the lounges.
Correct.
So it's I think 30-40% maybe.
I agree with you. ગિફ્ટ સિટી રિટેલ હબ અલોંગસાઇડ વિથ ફિનટેક સિટી
Right.
એ એક આખું 360 ડિગ્રી એવું બનશે કે શું આઈ મીન એના ઉપર એક થોડુંક અગર લાઇટ હોય કહું.
સો તમે એક જ એરિયામાં તમે જાઓ અને ગુડ કમ્યુનિટી ગુડ બિલ્ડિંગ્સ ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર તમને જોવા મળે એવું ઇન્ડિયામાં આઈ થિંક તમને કોઈ એવી જગ્યા નહીં મળે. ઇવન ઇફ યુ ગો ટુ મુંબઈ દિલ્હી ગમે તે જગ્યાએ
Correct.
આમ એક સાથે તમને 25-50 બિલ્ડિંગ ગુડ આઇકોનિક ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચરને જાય ને જે વાવ ફિલિંગ આવે
Yes.
what you see outside when you go in
યસ
gradually. પછી બાકી બધાના ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર ગવર્મેન્ટનું જે ગિફ્ટ્સ ઓથોરિટીનું જે ઓવરઓલ જે લેન્ડસ્કેપિંગ છે જે તેની વેલ્યુઝ છે લોકોની ઇટ્સ અ કમ્પ્લીટલી ડિફરન્ટ.
એ લોકો જે 28 એકરનું આખું ગાર્ડન ડેવલપ
Yes.
કરી રહ્યા છે જે એ લોકો મેન્ટેન કરવાના છે અને એના સાથે સાથે એ લોકો 2 લાખ સ્ક્વેર ફીટનું
Retail.
ઇન્ટરનેશનલ રેસ્ટોરન્ટ્સ ફૂડ પાર્ક
Right.
રિટેલ
Right.
આ બધી જે વસ્તુઓ જે લાવવાના છે એનાથી આખું સોશિયલ ઇન્ફ્રા ચેન્જ થઈ જશે એવું મને લાગી રહ્યું છે અત્યારે.
Exactly. અને ઇવન પાછળ જે રિવરફ્રન્ટ બી ડેવલપ
સાબરમતી રિવર
Right.
કરેક્ટ.
So it will be one of the place where everybody wanted to visit at least ચલો એક વાર જઈએ ત્યાં એન્જોય કરીને if they like then they will
કરેક્ટ.
with the
તો ઓલિમ્પિક 2036 એના કારણસર રિટેલ આઉટલુક કેવું ચેન્જ થશે?
No, it's a great opportunity for us in India to even dream of hosting the Olympics, and we are happy that Ahmedabad will be at least the prominent host city. Correct. I think it could transform the city.
એનું કામ પણ ચાલુ થઈ ગયું છે ઘણી બધી જગ્યાએ ગવર્મેન્ટના તરફથી બી કામ ચાલુ થઈ ગયું છે.
ઘણા ઇન્ડોર સ્ટેડિયમ્સ
તો એ સ્ટેડિયમ્સ ને બધું એના ટેન્ડર્સ ને બધું બી બહાર પડી રહ્યું છે. તો આખું રિટેલ આઉટલુક એના કારણસર થઈને શું ડેવલપમેન્ટ આવશે આવવાવાળા 14-15 વર્ષમાં એ સમથિંગ યુ નો ઇફ યુ ગાઈઝ.
So a lot of companies wanted to come into the Ahmedabad, especially Gujarat or Ahmedabad. And એના કારણે they are large occupied જેમ કે Lulu Mall has entered gradually. A lot of companies who want to be ના અમારા ગ્રાઉન્ડ ફ્લોર પર મોટી સ્પેસીસ જોઈએ છે. So they will have the access and because of the Olympics they're coming, they know કે gradually Ahmedabad market will gonna grow.
યસ
So they are also because building આખી બને ત્યારે બનતા બી ટાઈમ લાગે.
કરેક્ટ.
So 3-4 વર્ષે બિલ્ડિંગ બને,
Correct.
they get settled,
Correct.
people will keep coming. So yeah, it's a good shift gradually and a lot of નવા opportunities સિટીમાં ક્રિએટ થશે and
તો આ તમારા લોકોનું વ્યૂ પોઈન્ટ ઇન ટર્મ્સ ઓફ ડિફરન્સિએશન બિટવીન મોલ્સ અને હાઈ સ્ટ્રીટ શોપિંગ એના વિશે કંઈક થોડું કહી શકો તો?
તમે જોશો તો પાછલા 5 વર્ષ અને અત્યારે તો રિટેલની ડેફિનેશન આખી ચેન્જ થઈ ગઈ છે રાઈટ. ઘણા લોકો પોપઅપ સ્ટોર એક્સપિરિયન્સ સેન્ટર્સ તમે એક સિમ્પલ કેસ સ્ટડી કે એક્ઝામ્પલ લઈએ આપણે જે સ્નેક વેન્ડર્સ છે લાઈક ફાલ્ગુની કે સુકૃતિ કે વોટ એવર they were operating in a 1,000 square feet
House.
store or something like that. Okay, આજે 2,000 square feet 2,500 square feet માં ઓપરેટ કરે છે. મતલબ entire retail definition has changed right now.
I think you have created something into very big scale in terms of retail.
No, we have some interesting plans, and I think retail is evolving. So now retail has become about the experience because pretty much everything else you can buy online.
Yeah.
So things which people want to touch, feel, experience, and the combination of retail, which includes, of course, buying merchandise, but food, beverages, and entertainment, if that can be brought together in a nice environment,
Sure.
I think all of them have great potential.
રાઈટ. સો આપણા ત્યાં અત્યાર સુધીમાં એરિયાઝ રિટેલ માટે સીજી રોડ ને એસજી હાઈવે ઇઝ ધ પ્રિફર્ડ એન્ડ ઇન બિટવીનમાં બી આપણે જોઈએ તો સેટેલાઇટ હેઝ ઇવોલ્વડ. પ્રહલાદનગરનો એક એરિયા છે જ્યાં આગળ આપણને રિટેલ હાઈ સ્ટ્રીટ રિટેલ્સ મળે છે. એની સાથે સાથે આપણા ત્યાં આલ્ફા મોલ છે કે જે હવે ન્યુક્લિયસ અહેમદાબાદ 1 મોલ છે. વી હેવ પેલેડિયમ નાવ એન્ડ દેર આર અપકમિંગ મોલ્સ વિચ ઇઝ ગોઈંગ ટુ બી દેર. સો આપણા ત્યાં જે મોલ્સનું કલ્ચર છે એ હજી વધશે કે કેવું રહેશે?
so malls જે મેનેજ કરવાનો છે ને એક અલગ બિઝનેસ છે. So if the company who is managing the mall or good at managing the mall, they know how to lease, they know how to structure, કઈ જગ્યા કેટલા રેન્ટ પર આપી કે એને ખબર છે. સો જે એક્સપર્ટાઇઝ જેમ જેમ અહીંયા આવતી જશે જેમ કે લુલુ મોલ છે, નેક્સસ મોલ છે, ફિનિક્સ મોલ છે, પલાડિયમ છે, સો એ બધા એક્સપર્ટ્સ છે.
Correct.
So they know how to run the mall.
Right.
So they will keep coming. અને જે જૂના મોલ ટ્રેડિશનલ મોલ છે, they were just one of the real estate.
Yes.
They are changing their format અને જૂના બધા મોલ તૂટી અને અત્યારે કમર્શિયલ સ્પેસીસમાં ક્રિએટ થાય છે.
I agree with you completely. અને સાબરમતી રિવરફ્રન્ટ,
Right.
I think સાબરમતી રિવરફ્રન્ટ એક વન ઓફ ઇટ્સ કાઇન્ડ થિંગ છે જ્યાં અત્યારે બહુ જ બધી ડિફરન્ટ રિટેલ એક્ટિવિટીઝ બી થાય છે. ઇટ ઇઝ કપલ્ડ વિથ કમર્શિયલ એન્ડ રેસિડેન્શિયલ બોથ.
Right.
તો વિલ દેટ બી ધ નેક્સ્ટ ડેસ્ટિનેશન ઓલ્સો ઇન ટર્મ્સ ઓફ રિટેલ?
સો સબસિડરી રિટેલ્સ જે બી છે, સબસિડરી મીન્સ જેને અમદાવાદમાં એક પ્રેઝન્સ થઈ ગઈ છે, પણ તે નીડ સેકન્ડ પ્રેઝન્સ કે મારે બીજું ક્યાંક ટેપ કરવું.
યસ.
સો એક છે એ વેસ્ટ સાઇડ થઈ ગયું, એક છે સિટી સેન્ટરમાં થઈ ગયું, વેર લોટ ઓફ ટ્રાફિક, લોટ ઓફ પીપલ ઓલરેડી કમિંગ ધેર. સો એ ઓલરેડી દે આર લુકિંગ આફ્ટર કે ભાઈ અમને આ બાજુ કંઈ મળતું હોય ને, સો એ ડિમાન્ડ આજે બી છે. અને સાબરમતી રિવરફ્રન્ટ પર ધેર ઇઝ નો ગુડ બિલ્ડિંગ ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી જે તમે કહો કે ના આ સરસ એક્સપિરિયન્સીસ ક્રિએટ કરે છે. સો ઇવેન્ચ્યુઅલી ગવર્મેન્ટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો પુશિંગ ટુ બ્રિંગ ગુડ brands into real estate, so it will evolve gradually.
તમે બનાવવાનો છો ત્યાં કશું?
There is something going on, so we are working.
એટલે so I think the vision and the things which you guys have,
Right.
I think if at all Sabarmati Riverfront can be changed as an outlook તમારા લોકોના સપોર્ટથી.
So we are always there with the initiative of the government. Generative Stadium we are there.
Yes.
Redevelopment we are there.
Yes.
Lot of other structure we are helping government. Government is also with us. So same way we wanted to push Sabarmati Riverfront also, but gradually it's a first start. So હમણાં થોડા auction થયા
હા.
Riverfront. Gradually it will keep adding a new land parcel. Then
ઇનફેક્ટ હમણાં સાંભળ્યું છે કે ઇમેજિકા ઇઝ પ્લાનિંગ ટુ કમ દેર.
yes.
સો વિચ ઇઝ સમથિંગ ગોઈંગ ટુ ક્રિએટ સમથિંગ વિચ ઇઝ ડિફરન્ટ. અને બીજું એક સાંભળ્યું છે કે નિયર ટુ જુંડાલ આઈ થિંક ડિઝની વર્લ્ડ is something which was announced. એવું કંઈક આવ્યું હતું. Any idea on that?
So Imagica, yes. Disney, I don't know. No idea. હવે rumors છે કે fact છે, but
Sure. I think this was more onto the retail and the commercial, but
Right.
if I want to know or probably the viewers want to know more onto your personal lives, you know, how you define your day.
oh my god. So 9 to 9 is a life which is us life, our life. And the rest 9 to 9 is not in our control. So you can say meditation, workout are the part of life. Then even though at home after 9 evening, even at home, once you are done with the all family thing,
Yes.
then again the entrepreneurs or the owners mind keep working. So physically we are always there into work.
Yes.
Gradually બાકી તો જે જવાબદારી છે એ બધી
Correct. And to run more, is it required to be as fit as what you are?
No, I mean, look, it's always important to keep track of your health and fitness.
Sure.
And it's part of the balance of life. So I think as we all age, we all realize how that works. But as Chitrak said, I mean, we keep thinking about work, but also want to enjoy life as much as we can.
Actually, the same way, like 9 to 9, we are an entrepreneur, and then 9 to 9 is not in our control. But I always focus on the targets, on the to-do list and everything. So,
પણ એ મંડે ટુ સેટરડે હોય કે
exactly.
મંડે ટુ સન્ડે જ હોય છે?
Monday to Saturday જ હોય. બાકી family life. And to be very frank, I am very introvert person. So, yeah.
Sure.
See, even family knows what is your priority. If Sunday anything comes up,
Yes.
they don't mind doing it because some of the time they are taking our work time also.
Correct.
So some of the time we are taking their time also in our work. So that's know how to balance, because end of the day we are there to serve them and to help them and they are enjoyers.
Correct.
So we are like a people who work for them. So they know it's a
So, like, you know, to three of you, Tamara, you grown this business. Probably your father also taught you to do this business.
Right.
How are you getting your kids into the business, or are they, you know, willing to get into this business?
So when I was 18, I joined stock market, from the stock market. Then we started a real estate. So I was as a trainee.
Right.
I was 18.
Yes.
So gradually the same way, my son just joined before a couple of weeks.
Sure.
So now he's also 18. He's also a trainee. So same life. But yeah, he's fortunate that his family is already into real estate. Then in my time, my family were not into real estate and we were into stock market. So eventually it was shift from stock.
Yes.
So then we were new.
Yeah.
So we are here with the trial and error and everything. So now he doesn't have to face that.
Sure.
And he can directly jump in.
Yep.
Well, my kids, one of them is in our family restaurant business. The other one is in exploration mode and interested in software, AI, and things. I think we'll give them the opportunities. If they want to be part of the business, they'll be always welcome.
Sure.
And if they don't, then they can choose their own destiny. I chose my destiny, so I would like to give them the same opportunity.
Sure.
Same like I would like to give them free hand, like whether he's coming into business, he's most welcome.
Sure.
And if he is exploring any other things,
Yes.
like see, अभी से आप future का कुछ बोल नहीं सकते क्योंकि after 10 years where the world will go we doesn't know.
Sure.
So
Perfect.
See, I have a different philosophy. Anybody, like any child or any kid, wanted to do something else, then they can do in their time.
Got it.
At least they have to be in an office for at least 4 to 5 hours to know what is going on,
Sure.
what your family is doing.
Yes.
And if you want to do something else, then bring it, do it from your time.
Yes.
જો એનો પેલો ફરવાનો ટાઈમ હોય, એ કરવાનો ટાઈમ હોય, and he is very much serious into about it, તે ફરવાના ટાઈમની જગ્યાએ એ એના કેરિયર માટે ટાઈમ સ્પેન્ડ કરે. બટ 4-5 કલાક તો એને સમજવું જ પડે how his family
Is
are
running the
working.
show.
Yeah, so
Yes.
because some of the time કશું કંઈક થઈ ગયું તો they should aware
Yes.
what is going on
Yes.
and what is plus and minuses.
So, gift city versus dry state. વર્ષોથી આપણે ડ્રાય સ્ટેટ છીએ જ. ગિફ્ટ સિટીમાં જ ખાલી પરમિશન છે. પ્રોઝ એન્ડ કોન્સ ઓફ દેટ.
So dry state તમે વાત કરીએ તો સરસ મજા બી છે. Lot of people wanted to do party 40-45 years સુધી, અને પછી they like dry state કે બી મારે એકદમ શાંત જોઈએ છે, બહુ ન્યુસન્સ નથી જોઈએ. તો there are a lot of people we are getting into our office કે બી અમને હવે dry state માં રહેવા આવું છે, because we feel કે અમારો next generation આવે છે. They feel secure, although Gujarat is already safe.
Yes.
So કોઈ છે નહીં, પણ એમના માઇન્ડસેટમાં છે. There is also plus point also. 40-45 years પછી if anybody wanted to drink, the government permission health ground પર આપે છે, they can enjoy.
જેમ કે આપણી બેન દીકરી જે પણ છે એ લોકો અત્યારે 3 વાગે કે 4 વાગે બી રાત્રે સેફ છે.
True.
તો એ કંઈક ચેન્જીસ આવશે
ઇવન
ને
તમારા ઓફિસના માણસની તમારા સ્ટાફની જે એફિશિયન્સી છે ને એ બી ડ્રાય સ્ટેટમાં વધારે હોય છે રેધર દેન નોન ડ્રાય સ્ટેટ. બિકોઝ એને સપોઝ ડ્રિંક કરેલું હશે તો સવારે આવશે, હેંગ આઉટ હશે, એટલે વોટ એવર મતલબ
પણ
ના એમનામાં જ એડ કરું
હા.
કે અહીંયા ડ્રાય સ્ટેટ છે, કોઈ એક્ટિવિટી નથી, કશું એન્ગેજમેન્ટ નથી, એટલે બધા એન્ટરપ્રિનર બી છે કે કશું નથી, ધંધો કરો.
પણ એક રીતે જોવા જઈએ તો જે આફ્ટર લાઈફ છે, આફ્ટર ઓફિસ આર્સ લાઈફ, એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂથી બાકીના જેટલા બી મેટ્રોસ છે, શુક્રવાર ફ્રાઈડે ઇઝ અ ડે ફોર ધેમ બેઝિકલી.
પણ એટલે તો બધા ત્યાં મેજર જોબ કરે છે ગુજરાતમાં, ધંધાદારી માણસ.
But it's seen as a good motivation for young people. Yes. They are aspiring a certain lifestyle, and I think they associate the liberty to have alcohol with that lifestyle. So I think having that option in a calibrated way, as we are having, which is without all the nuisance, but in a calibrated way, it is
to define that calibrated way is important.
But I think they're already calibrating it by restricting it to a certain location, restricting it to certain kind of people.
Right.
Will be a start. Pachi,
પણ બીજી વસ્તુ અમદાવાદમાં આવશે.
સો ગવર્મેન્ટ જે પ્રોગ્રેસિવ ચર્ચા છે કે ગિફ્ટમાં એક ઝોન ડિક્લેર કર્યો કે ભાઈ અહીંયા યુ કેન ડ્રિંક, એવી રીતે આઈ ગેસ જે બી ટુરિસ્ટ પ્લેસીસ હશે, ગવર્મેન્ટ વિલ આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ ફ્યુ એરિયાઝ, જેમ કદાચ SEZમાં કરે કે સો ઇટ્સ અ રેસ્ટ્રિક્ટિવ પ્લેસ, યુ વર્ક, યુ પાર્ટી, યુ કલ્ચર ત્યાં, સો બહાર કોઈને ન્યુસન્સ ના થાય. ઇટ ઇઝ અ ગુડ વે ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી, જેને કરવું છે યુ ગો ઇન દેટ એરિયા, જેને નથી કરવું યુ સ્ટે ઇન દેટ એરિયા.
Dubai is shops in permit shops in five-star hotels and all.
Right.
and you can see Dubai has done that, where a very strict Muslim country has transformed itself into a global hub just by having it open in a calibrated way. So there is a way to do it.
રિયલ એસ્ટેટ કન્સલ્ટન્ટ તરીકે વી ચાર્જ યુ ફીસ જનરલી. તો એ જે ફીસ છે એ ફીસ શું કોસ્ટ વધારી દે છે કે એ ફીઝ ઇઝ સમથિંગ વિચ યુ ફીલ કે આ ફીઝ ઇઝ ગુડ ટુ હેવ ધ કન્સલ્ટન્ટ ઓર ધ ચેનલ પાર્ટનર્સ?
So I tell you, no business in the world has grown without the distribution network.
Yes.
Even you take the Maruti or Zara or any Gutka, they are having the distributor partner. So we consider real estate broker or channel partner are our distributor only or dealer only or franchise network only or partner only. So without them, we can't grow because their expertise into the sales and we are expertise into the value addition and the experiences. We just have to pass our vision to him.
Sure.
And then gradually they pull it off. That's how. So that's not the cost. In fact, that's the support which developer always required.
બટ એને આપણા ત્યાં અમુક છે જે સ્ટ્રક્ચર્ડ વેમાં કરે છે,
Right.
અમુક રિયલ્ટર્સ અને થોડોક અનસ્ટ્રક્ચર્ડ બી
છે.
પોર્શન છે. તો એમાં તમને કેવું કઈ રીતનું લાગે છે બેલેન્સિંગ?
So પહેલા રિયલ એસ્ટેટ અનસ્ટ્રક્ચર્ડ હતું because કેશ બી હતી, રેરા બી નહોતું. સો ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી ઇટ ઇઝ શિફ્ટ ફ્રોમ ધ ગવર્મેન્ટ ઓલ્સો બધી બાજુથી. તો ડેવલપર બી સ્ટ્રક્ચર થાય છે. રેરા આવ્યું એને 5 ફોર્સ કરે છે. અને ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી સેમ વસ્તુ આની અંદર રિયલ એસ્ટેટની અંદર બ્રોકરેજની અંદર બી આવી જશે. આજે નહીં તો કદાચ 5 વર્ષે, પણ જે નહીં આવે એ ત્યાં ને ત્યાં રહેશે. બાકી બધા
હું એક સજેશન ચિત્રકભાઈને બી એ કરું છું અહીંયા કે આપણી જે ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ છે એની અંદર કોઈ સેલ્સના પ્રોગ્રામ ચલાવીએ.
રાઈટ, એબ્સોલ્યુટલી.
particularly for sales
Right.
to real estate brokers, like to sales in a organized way.
ઓર્ગેનાઇઝ વે.
Right.
કરેક્ટ.
So that will impact more in the society also. Like that.
100%. 100%.
And I think the global reach of particularly the multinational companies that are operating, they get mandates from somewhere else in the world.
Yes.
They translate into here, which would otherwise be impossible without that network, right?
Correct.
So there is definitely a value add. In just like any other industry, there are good players, there are bad players. So your industry is not any different, but
Yeah.
we value the inputs that we get from the good players, and then we want to associate only with those good players that bring us that value.
And it brings more transparency also.
So normally, which we have seen channel partners and brokers, they are some of the time they are just selling. Instead of that, they should be working like a doctor. They should ask first like a counselor then based on the criteria of the people, if they sell gradually, then it is always a,
If I say one word, advisors,
yeah, you can say it.
we can
I would say a counselor rather than advisor. Advisor is people giving advice even though you want or not.
or not?
Counselor is always like you ask first.
Yes.
Otherwise, like doctor ની ત્યાં તમે જાઓ તરત પેરાસિટામોલ જોઈએ. It's not that. They ask you first.
Yes. We talked about probably the infrastructure, iconic buildings coming up, Jantri and Gift City, retail as a new destination. So I think as a whole, the city is ready in terms of all the international standards which are required for. And I think what it looks like that it is only upward growths from where we are. And I think it will see something which is on a new high, which I feel after, having a discussion with you guys.
પણ તમને ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછવો છે. being a national realtor, you represent Knight Frank. તમને શું લાગે છે કે આઇકોનિક સ્ટ્રક્ચર ઓર ટોલ બિલ્ડિંગ અમદાવાદની અંદર ગવર્મેન્ટ has recently announced a policy in Lal 30 to 40 iconic structure are happening. Why it is not there into the Delhi? Why it is not there so much into Bangalore or only in Mumbai or Dubai? So then do you see Ahmedabad will have a lot of potential of having the tall structure? Rather we are discussing for the IT or A-grade building, they require large floor plates. So comparing the large floor plates with the Bangalore and the tall structure with the Mumbai.
So I think મારું એવું માનવું છે કે વર્ટિકલી આખી સ્કાયલાઇન ચેન્જ થઈ જશે.
Right.
So that will be something which will be impactful.
Right.
વર્સિસ હોરિઝોન્ટલ જે ગ્રોથ છે જેમાં હોરિઝોન્ટલી ફ્લોર પ્લેટ્સ ને બધું હોય છે, તો આઈ થિંક હું માનું છું ત્યાં સુધીમાં વર્ટિકલમાં જ્યારે કોઈ પણ આપણા ત્યાંની જે એવરેજ છે એ એવરેજ છે 12,000 ફૂટથી લઈને 25,000 ફૂટ.
Right.
તો વર્ટિકલ જ્યારે જાઓ છો ત્યારે આપણને એવી રીતની સિચ્યુએશન મળે છે કે એક્ઝેક્ટ સેગમેન્ટ કે જે ટેનન્ટ્સને યુઝમાં અને પ્લસમાં એમને જે સ્કાયલાઇનનો વ્યૂ મળે છે એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂથી આઈ ફીલ કે આઇકોનિક ઇઝ ગોઈંગ ટુ બી અ change in terms of the entire thing. And in parallel, you have certain areas which is like કે જે zones છે જ્યાં આગળ આપણને horizontal બી campuses are under
No, but
control.
if I ask you one category, vertical or horizontal,
Yes.
I'm just asking you, pulling you more. Dubai are more on vertical,
Correct.
Mumbai are more on vertical, Bangalore are more on to horizontal. So what do you see Ahmedabad? One word, or vertical or horizontal?
I feel vertical.
Okay.
It defies that logic, because if you look at Mumbai, it's landlocked, it's constrained. Dubai as such is not, but tall buildings signify prosperity, right?
Correct.
So they are going taller and taller. So I think there are two sides to this. I'm not sure whether I'm glad you asked him and that question and not me. I think you see, for Bangalore, where they have IT companies, large space requirements, horizontal makes much more sense.
Yes.
It's also much more expensive and more complicated to build tall buildings and then maintain them.
Yes. Yes.
So effectively, for efficiency, sometimes a horizontal low-rise building or taller, shorter building will make more sense. But people like tall. People like to be and say that I'm in the tallest building in Ahmedabad.
And the view make a complete
And
difference.
No, we are making 5 buildings. We are in Ahmedabad, I think we have the highest iconic buildings, 5 tall buildings, which we are already developing. But I'm still asking you.
Yes. Yes.
Then next onwards, we can plan. Either we should go
And the next,
I think
next question is to maintain that building aesthetically
yes.
from the outside also.
Of course. So for that, I think we have a entire gamut of services. We can manage it into the international standards also, in terms of what the standards has to be maintained, because we are doing it since ages. We are doing it since 130 years now.
But do you think that Ahmedabad will pay your fees?
I think that's something which is going to, as well as it is going to change the outlook for you. Where
Not us.
somewhere.
Not us. The end consumer after 2 years, 3 years,
100%.
who is going to have to pay?
100%. Why? Because those customers are coming to us and they are looking at spaces in other cities also.
Okay.
So they just, compare
Right.
what is here and what is there.
I think it will happen. I think
Yes.
it will be a compulsion. It's like saying that I want a nice car, but I don't want to pay for the service or the fuel cost, right? If effectively a premium product will go with a premium
Right.
operating cost. So
We already started. My office, my corporate house or institute are managed by one of the big IP,
Yes.
like yours.
Yes.
Even the one of our project also we handed over one of the big IP.
Sure.
So shift is happening, but we don't know after 2 years if the society will continue or not.
Correct.
I think they will. I think if you set it up, and if it's well set up,
Right.
I think you have to educate people that this high quality product will require high quality services ongoing.
Yes.
If that is well understood from the beginning, then people have no reason to want to flip.
Ultimately, we also have to use good technology also. Like we are incorporating robotic facade cleaning.
Yes.
So
Of course,
to eliminate humidity, to have consistent cleaning and everything. So that we also have to do it.
Absolutely.
So the shift is happening from product to service. Product and service together. Earlier it used to be only a product.
Correct.
Gradually, Shaan bhai can add a lot of value with the services because he is doing a lot of.
Sure.
So we'll build services into our business model,
Yes.
but we also use a large number of multinational partners to be able to deliver that service to the quality. Today we take that overall responsibility because the customer says we know you.
Yes.
So we remain there, but that it doesn't happen automatically. It happens with the support of great infrastructure.
If you can, it was great, I think, discussing on lot of things which we have discussed. And I think as a whole, I think we have got the best positioning in terms of the city infrastructure, the things which are evolving.
Right.
So if you guys can, just lastly summarize it, how we want to, get on to the new era of it.
So the good quality buildings, good shift of the real estate, which I see gradually, and the product with the services. That's what I see the next 10 years.
Definitely, and good services will matter more than the good product, I think.
And I think we are lucky to be in a city, one of the few cities in India which is kept pace with development. So the infrastructure in this city has not fallen behind development. So
Sure.
we are lucky to have this canvas.
Sure.
We are lucky to have discerning clientele. We are lucky to have a progressive government, authorities,
Correct.
great developers who are creating overall standard. If you see Ahmedabad, overall standard of development, I think in average will be better than most other cities. So it's a great opportunity, and we feel excited to be alive and in this business at this time, because then I think the next 10 years will be super fun.
ઓછા નાથી 10 વર્ષ પહેલાં ગાંધીનગર જવું હોય ને તો યુ વર લાઈક ટેકિંગ 40 મિનિટ્સ અત્યારે 25 મિનિટ્સ લાગે છે સો ઇવન ધો લોટ ઓફ ડેવલપર્સ લોટ ઓફ બિલ્ડિંગ્સ આર દેર સ્ટિલ સો એઝ શાનભાઈ સેડ ગવર્મેન્ટ ઇઝ doing lot of infrastructure, lot of bridges to bridge the gap
Yes.
and reduce the transaction.
Correct. So I think those facilities like metro, BRTS, huge 200 feet roads, 132 feet internal ring road is something which has already changed the
So
outlook.
self-sufficient થતું જાય ને સિટી છે બિલ્ડિંગ છે that's what the logic is. Sustainability સમજો કે બિલ્ડિંગ સમજો કે
Correct.
sewage treatment સમજો so લોડ ના પડે સિટી પર અને more and more people can come from because અહીંયા urbanization બહુ થાય છે માઇગ્રેશન બહુ થાય છે બહારના લોકો અહીંયા બહુ આવે છે
Yes.
so government has to do this
Yes.
otherwise એવું થશે સિટી મોટું થયા કરશે.
So I think it was great discussing with you guys, and you know, I would be thankful in terms of CREDAI Guy-Head Property Show 2025 to get onto this platform to have the fantastic outlook of entire real estate gamut in terms of commercial, retail, and the new era which is going to be coming in. So
Right.
it was great speaking with you guys.
Thank you, Rumit bhai.